the news. Afternoon. First, the highlights. Lagos State government reaffirms commitment to address flooding. President Tinubu calls for comprehensive re-evaluation of global governance. On the foreign scene, methane gas kills 12 Turkish soldiers in Iraq operation. And in sports, Super Falcons head coach Justin Madugu expresses satisfaction of the team's performance against Tunisia at WAFCON 2024. And now the details. I am Mike James. The Lagos State government has reaffirmed its commitment to address frontally the menace of flooding by restoring the drainage right-of-ways and putting resilient infrastructure in place across the metropolis. Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources Tokunbo Wahab stated this while addressing the media after an inspection tour around the ongoing 4.2-kilometer concrete lining drainage project that cuts across Ikeja and Kosofe local government area. Wahab said the project, which was awarded in 2024, will be done in phases, stating that the Sheraton to Ojota section is 45% completed, while the whole project will be completed in 24 months. The Lagos State Ministry of Justice has announced a renewed commitment to fast-tracking revenue cases through the designation of specialized judges and the integration of technology in adjudication processes. Chief Judge of Lagos State, Justice Kazim Alugba, stated this at a key stakeholders meeting for a revenue recovery summit themed Speedy Dispensation of Revenue Cases in Court. Alugba said the summit is a step towards enhancing the state's financial integrity and justice delivery system. He pledges continued collaboration with all revenue-generating agencies and the Ministry of Justice. Also, Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice Lawal Pedro emphasized the urgency of the summit, noting that revenue is the lifeblood of public service delivery across sectors such as healthcare, education, security, sanitation, and infrastructure. Pedro stated that when revenue is trapped in prolonged legal processes, the true cost is borne by ordinary citizens. He called on members of the judiciary, revenue authorities, and legal practitioners present to commit to practical solutions that will ensure expeditious resolution of tax and revenue disputes. The Lagos chapter of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, is turning the spotlight on sustainable agriculture and food security, using the power of communication to drive change in urban communities. Chairman of the Lagos chapter, Samuel Ayetutu, says the initiative is part of this year's PR Fest 2025, a week-long celebration of creativity, culture, and strategic communication. Ayetutu explains that the focus on urban farming was born out of the need to address key challenges facing Lagos and other growing cities across the country. PR Fest 2025 is scheduled to run from Friday, August 8 to Thursday, August 14, with the theme Urban Farming for Food Security, the Role of Communication. Chairman of the Planning Committee, Olabamiji Adeleye, calls on stakeholders and corporate bodies to support the event, which will feature mentorship for students and young PR professionals, the launch of PR and leadership clubs in tertiary institutions, PR sports and fitness festival, media tours, and a special documentary on urban farming in Lagos. And now to the rest of the stories. President Bola Tinubu has called for a comprehensive re-evaluation of global governance, financial structures, and health systems, advocating for a fairer, more inclusive world, though that truly reflects the interest of emerging and low-income economies, particularly in Africa. Speaking at the 7th BRICS Summit of the Global South in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, President Tinubu warned that global challenges like environmental degradation, climate change, and healthcare inequality continues to hinder sustainable development, especially across the African continent. The summit, hosted by Brazilian President Luiz Lula da Silva, was Nigeria's first participation as an official BRICS partner country, following its admission into the bloc on January 17, 2025. Nigeria joins 8 other countries in the new partner framework created at the Kazan Summit in 2024. Tinubu emphasized that justice, equity, and accessible financing must drive a new global compact backed by sustainable technology transfer and local ownership of solutions. He underscored Nigeria's ongoing commitment to regional and global climate actions, including the African Carbon Market Initiative and the Great Green Wall Project. The federal government says it is committed to partnering with the private sector to boost trade and investment between Nigeria and Indonesia. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Entrepreneurship Development, Chalya Shagaya, said this at the Media Economic Outlook with the theme Building Resilience in Turbulent Times, organized by the Nigerian Indonesian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, NICCI, in Lagos. Shagaya also pledged the government support for the Nigeria-Indonesian investment and a trade forum scheduled to hold in Jakarta, Indonesia from October 21 to 23 to boost bilateral trade and drive more investment and smarter collaboration between the two countries. She said the government is dedicated to partnering with institutions like NICCI to drive entrepreneurship growth in Nigeria. In his remarks, President of NICCI, Ishmael Balogun, called on Nigerian businesses to participate in the 40th edition of the Indonesian Joint Expo coming up from the 15th of October through 19, also in Jakarta. According to him, the Business and Trade Expo is a pivotal event fostering international economic collaboration between Nigerian businesses and those of Indonesia. And in some foreign news, 12 Turkish soldiers have died after being exposed to methane gas while searching a cave in Iraq. The Turkish Ministry of National Defense said at least 19 personnel were exposed to the gas during the search and clear operation on Sunday. They were immediately taken to hospital, but by this morning, 12 soldiers had died. The troops were searching for the body of a soldier who was killed in gunfire in May 2022. The ministry also said despite efforts, the remains have still not been recovered. Over to sports news. Super Falcons head coach Justin Madugu has expressed satisfaction with his players' performance against Tunisia. Nigeria got off to a perfect start at the 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations, courtesy of a 3-0 victory over the North Africans. Asisat Oshoala opened scoring for the 9-time champions after 4 minutes, while Omorisola Babajide doubled the advantage on the stroke of half-time. Substitute Chiwendu Ihezuo netted the third 6 minutes from time. Madugu noted that every player is important in the team. That was our news at 12. Just before we go, always carry out proper and adequate checks on your vehicle before setting out. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X, Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs. It's live on YouTube, Traffic Radio 961. Our website is www.trafficradio961.ng. Listen to Lagos Traffic Radio on my Lagos app for timely updates. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration organized a mentorship seminar for over 1,000 youths on the theme Agripreneur, Strategy for Wealth Creation? Well, you can get more details. It's on the Lagos Government website. And to end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Government has reaffirmed its commitment to address frontally the menace of flooding by restoring the drainage right-of-way and putting resilient infrastructure in place across the metropolis. President Bola Tinubu has called for a comprehensive reevaluation of global governance, financial structures and health systems, advocating for a fairer, more inclusive world order that truly reflects the interests of emerging and low-income economies, particularly in Africa. He also told you that 12 Turkish soldiers have died after being exposed to methane gas while searching a cave in Iraq. And in sports, Super Falcons head coach Justin Madugu has expressed satisfaction with his players' performance against Tunisia. And for contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast. This was compiled by Adirayodo Olaya. Thank you, Lagos, for listening. My name is Mike James. Beautiful afternoon to you.
a challenge we faced, but now we have a solution, a better pace. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. We're here to guide you wherever you